So for whatever reason, I had a bunch of requests to open a bunch of supply drops. So you can see right here, my first drop was actually something good. That's a Spitfire MK2 variant. And I always find supply drop openings pretty funny because I don't do a live comm of it. I'm not getting super hyped about it because I honestly do not care what is in the supply drops. I know there's people out there that do get hyped about these things, but that's just not me. So what I'm going to do when it comes to content is tell you whether or not they're good or bad. And obviously, for the most part, anyone who's been opening these things knows they're horribly bad. And that's what a lot of people have been putting out, saying, hey, they're really bad. I'm not getting any of the items I want, blah, 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 whatever the case is. But no one's actually breaking down any kind of data. I actually opened all 173 of my drops, meticulously calculated how many were duplicates and from what categories they were, whether they were common, rare, legendary, epic, or the ultra category, which we had as heroic in previous Call of Duties, or at least in World War II. If you guys happen to watch my evolution of supply drop videos, you'll know that over time, supply drops are always on a roller coaster. They get progressively worse, then they get better, then they've gotten worse. And that's kind of the pattern we're on, and we're on the lowest of the low. And hopefully next year they either do away with it because it's illegal in some countries, or they go ahead and work out one that is consumer friendly. And just to give you a heads up about the supply drop opening, I literally had every item in reserves and couldn't even open any more reserve drops until the update went live, so I can actually start opening all of these different supply drops. And they went ahead and added more filler. We got those death effects. We get some camos that are linked to specific weapons. There's a reactive camo and a regular camo. And then we also have all kinds of other nonsense that's just flooded in there. And at the end of the day, we don't really care about, or at least most of us don't care about. The same with charms. If I get a Hades charm, it can only work on the Hades. If I get a Maddox charm, it can only work on the Maddox. And that's kind of annoying. What if I am an ICR user and I want an ICR charm? Guess what? I have to wait on luck. And that's unfortunately a bad thing. And there's other Call of Duties, maybe you could have grinded out. You'd have a specific goal in mind, like, hey, I'm going to get this amount. I got daily challenges. All this game does is say, hey, you log in once a day, you get a win, you're going to get a reward. Maybe if you go to Blackout, you're going to get a different reward. Zombies, you're going to go get a different reward. But you got to dedicate hours upon hours upon hours. Versus in World War II, maybe we logged in, we get 10 supply drops in 45 minutes, we're good to go. We don't need to play the rest of the day. Or if we do, just because we enjoy the game, we can do that. We don't have to grind hour upon hour to get these random things. Obviously, you're going to have the people out there defending the Activision and Treyarch greed or whatever the case is, just saying this stuff's just cosmetic. And to be honest with you, 99% of it is just cosmetic. But there are a few items that are not cosmetic. A perfect example of that is the Switchblade SMG that just came out in the last operation. Is now an MK2 variant, and pretty much you cannot gain access to it if you just bought the game today for whatever reason. Maybe it went on sale, maybe it got it as a gift, whatever the case is. If you started grinding out the game today, you basically have zero chance of actually getting these DLC weapons. And it's not like the DLC weapons suck. A lot of the people get behind the SWAT, and if you just saw my SMG video where I was ranking all the different SMGs against each other, you'll know that the Damon and the Switchblade are my top two SMGs in the game currently. And I don't think that's by mistake. I think that's 100% by greed. They basically made those weapons better, and you wanting to get those items are going to spend money or grind thousands of hours. Odds are you don't have thousands of hours to give, so you're going to go ahead and invest that money. You're going to buy $100 worth of supply drops. I hope I get it. I hope I get it. Another $100 of supply drops. I hope I get it. I hope I get it. And you're never going to get it unless you invest a stupid amount of money. So earlier in the video, I said that I was actually keeping track of what I got within the reserves. So here's a quick look at every different item I got within the reserves. And on the left, you can see the total number of items is over 200. And the main reason for that is because when you get a duplicate, you end up getting a fourth item basically. So if you get duplicate, 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 then you'll get a dupe protected item, which will be a fourth item. So let's look at this, and you can see on the right hand side, those are the only two categories that actually matter. People only care about those ultra items. That's the MK2 variants. That is the Blackout character skins. If you don't care about the Blackout character skins, I only got 4 signature weapons in this entire supply drop opening. So out of 210 items, I only got 4 signature weapons or MK2 variants. One of them happened to be a duplicate, so whatever on that. But if you're doing the math there, that means you have a 1% chance to get a signature weapon. And that's going to go ahead and bring us to the duplicate rate. So while opening 173 reserves, I received 122 duplicates, which equated to an extra 40 items. So overall, I ended up getting approximately 90 items that were brand new that I did not have out of 173 drops. So at the point I'm at with my current reserve items, I have a 70% chance of getting a duplicate. So I highly encourage you, if you're thinking about spending money on reserves, keep that in mind that almost 70% of the items you are purchasing will be duplicates. And it will only get worse the more items you collect. So overall, I just think it's a total scam. You could do with that what you want. You could agree or disagree or whatever the case is. But personally, I'm not spending another penny on this game. Even though I can make some of the money back by making a video and opening supply drops and doing all this other stuff and utilizing that money, I don't think it's a good look for the channel. I really think that is a bad way to go in supporting Treyarch and Activision with a faulty microtransaction system. During the entire life cycle of World War II, I spent $0 on microtransactions in any form. And prior to making Call of Duty content on the channel, I had never spent a penny on Call of Duty microtransactions besides the season pass. And I don't even want to get started on how broken the season pass or the Black Ops pass is all this time around with the most content to date and whatever. Just remade, remastered maps and maps that just aren't fun to play. So as you can see in the background, I sped up the supply drops quite a bit. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. If you did, please remember to hit that like button, subscribe with notifications on if you'd like to find your way back to the channel. I do appreciate all the support on the channel. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.